Beautiful. We're not trying to rush this at all, you guys, but we do want to make sure you have an opportunity to ask questions. And what we would like to do is we're going to just spread the directors out around the house area here. And if you've got a question, we'll repeat that question so that everybody can hear it and try to get the answer back to you the very best we can. We just had a 2-hour chaperone meeting prior to this meeting, and great questions asked in there, and a lot of clarification that we were able to achieve. So if you've got a specific question on any part of the packet at this point, we can go ahead and take those questions and see what we can get answered for you. Yes, sir. Riley's asking a great question. What do we need to wear when we perform? The beautiful thing is we do not have to have tuxes or dresses. It's whatever we're wearing in the park that day, and then we show up for our recording and our performance. Okay, so it's casual dress. We don't have to have that. The only uniforms going along would be those for show choir that will be going down on the trailer and so forth. Okay?
Swimsuits just need to be appropriate. And when you're out of the pool, we want you to cover up.
Yeah, so going to the pool and back from the pool, you must have a cover-up on.
We did talk about that at the chaperone meeting. We're not putting restrictions on the swimsuit other than it just needs to be appropriate. And when you're out of the pool, you're covered up.
Before we get to the next question, one of our chaperones reminded us if you take any medication, we do ask that you be able to administer your own medication. We're not going to be able to give it to you, even ibuprofen or whatever. So just plan ahead. And parents, if you have a question or a concern with that, you can certainly talk to us. But just want to make sure we've said that up front.
Well, it might have been said when I had to leave for my miscalculation earlier, but I apologize. You guys, we just have to have a level of trust. If we're going to take 280 people for 5 days and go on flights and all those things, we just have to have a level of trust with their son or daughter, and we do, but that level of trust must also be at a point where they can take care of medications that they might need when they need to take them, and take them. We just have to trust that they can do that.
Okay. The question is, do the ambassadors have to go to Universal Studios because that's where the competition is? The entrance to Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios are right next door to each other, so you can choose, and then when you come out, there is the Hard Rock Cafe right there. It's all connected.
The performance venue is out of the park.
Hard Rock Cafe is right outside the park. All walking distance. Yeah.
Great question. Ask about the checked luggage. So once we've checked luggage in here, you guys, we take it to the airport. It gets on the plane. The next time you see your luggage is when we get off the plane down at Sanford, and we will unload the luggage by bus and by bus tag color at that point. So our bus load crews will help load that on the appropriate buses. So the next time you see your luggage will be down at Sanford Airport. Does that answer your question, sir?
So they don't have to pick it up at carousel.
That is correct. So when we land, they will not be picking their luggage up at a carousel or anything like that. It'll be coming off, and we'll be lining that up for the students.
Okay. Marching band instrument or concert band instrument?
Concert band instrument. Thank you.
What exactly does load crew do?
What exactly does load crew do? Go ahead, Mr. Ron.
Yeah, load crew helps us out about 5 different times, loading things onto the buses and off of the buses so that we can do it very, very quickly. And there's about 5 students assigned on each bus to load crew, so we let those kids choose their seat buses first before the others get on, and they're the first people that get off the bus. So it's just a little bit of a thank you for the couple of times that we'll need your help. Mariah's asking, what happens in a situation where you might be in a group not of 3 because of the situation where kids are performing on that day in particular? And that we just have to ask to do the best that you can. We understand that one's more unique than any of the other days just because of the commitment of times and different kids. So, our thing is about safety and trying to keep you safe. So I would make sure that you're with at least one other person on that day in those situations, otherwise in your group of 3.
A couple of quick follow-ups. Boys, swimming suits, cover-ups. Yes, you are required to have a shirt on when you're out of the pool. If you're walking through the lobby in a swimming suit, you do need to have a shirt on. Another one of the chaperones mentioned, it is best not to lock your luggage. Please do not lock your luggage. Oh, debit card. If you're using a debit card in Florida, it's a really good idea to allow your bank a heads up so that it's not denied because it's in a different state.
When they come back off the flight, when they arrive back in Cedar Rapids and then pick them up, will they get their luggage at the airport that day then?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
take it home?
Correct. Question is, when we return back to Cedar Rapids on Tuesday, will they get their luggage? Yes, it will come on the turnstile, pick it up, and go.
Do you recall if there are refrigerators in the room? If they have medicine that needs to be refrigerated? I suspect there are.
I do too, but
We need to check, sometimes it might only be in the chaperone's room, and we have to, for like medication, I don't know, we'll have to check on that. We do know that there's Wi-Fi available, if that's important to you, and we're also gonna check on like a safe, like a room safe, that might be in there too.
okay, I got a question over here.
Says the carry-on on the airplane, the same thing you carry to your cart all day then?
That's your choice.
Can you repeat
The question was, the carry-on that you take on the plane, do you carry it on the park? The first day, the carry-on can stay on the bus if you don't want to carry it at the park. But then beyond that, if you want a little like knapsack or whatever to take in the park, that's up to you.
Wow. Fabulous question. Are any of the performances recorded? Indeed they are, with Disney quality. It is an amazing thing that our students are getting to do, both instrumentally and vocally. And when we return, the kids will have an opportunity to have a DVD that is their recorded performance, singing or playing, along with the video of the Disney movie that music accompanies. So last time we made a picture of the entire trip available to every child, and we made that DVD available to every single student. So one way or the other, we'll make sure that it gets out there and available to the kids. It's not something we can sell or anything, we just did it as part of the trip. Really cool, it's amazing. You'll be very impressed.
Will there be a website for pictures taken on the trip?
Will there be a website for pictures taken on the trip? You want to talk about the Facebook?
Actually, we are, just this morning I created a Facebook group. There's an existing person out there from 3 years ago called Prairie Music Trip. And but there's a group now if you want to join the group, and so that's where we can post photos, or students, if you're on Facebook, you can tag photos for Prairie Music Trip, and then other people can see it. So that's how we do it. We don't keep any other website of photos, but we just do it through Facebook. So if you're a Facebook user, that's what we'll do.
Yes, ma'am.
The question is, are the workshops open to the public? They are not. They let very few chaperones, adults, directors go in. So
Yeah, we have to notify them ahead of time, actually, of everybody that's in the room and how many people. It's limited. In fact, you can't even get to the workshop. It's in a secret backstage location that they don't even let people get to.
We do have some students with specific medical issues or concerns, and you want to make sure and raise that to your chaperone at the end of the meeting today. Okay? Any other final question? You guys are great. I do see one up in the upper balcony.
is there breakfast provided the day that we take off out of Cedar Rapids? There is not. Yep. Yeah. Jared asked about how the ambassadors are going to get ready to perform on Saturday evening, and I'm still working the details of that out.
Guys, if you're going to need Tylenol, that type of medication, it should be in its original container, and yes, you can have that with you, and I would suggest that you do, in case you're going to need to use that due to some heat or sun or something like that, but you'll be taking that and responsible for that on your own. Tylenol and over-the-counter medications, okay?
Had a chaperone just bring up the idea, we have these big breakfasts for the kids every morning almost. It's not impossible to grab a granola bar or a banana on the way out for later.
Is that on, did we take that? Is that on the videotape? Because I think Mrs. Rummer just suggested that you steal. I think
For
that's what
those of
just
us who
They-
eat
they
light
paid for
in the
it.
morning.
Yeah. You must have suggested that you put a strap around your instrument case.
I'm sorry, I did. The instrumental kids were suggesting that they wrap a belt or a strap or a rope, tie it around the instrument case so that it doesn't just flop open on the tarmac accidentally and their $1,000 instrument goes out in pieces. So I would strongly encourage that.
They do still have to, they will still be searched and checked when we get them in. So I mean, you can bring a strap, or it could be a belt that we can undo pretty easily, but we will have to open it up. So don't duct tape it shut.
Exactly. Okay. Hannah,
What are the percussionists going to have to do? Like, what do we have to bring? What do we have to
great question about the percussionists. Percussionists are going to bring mallets, sticks, and that's all we have to provide. They provide everything else.
We don't have to move
So
it.
we'll be packing a couple boxes of particular of instruments, percussion that we need to bring, and that's all. You won't have to carry anything on or bring anything.
We actually pack a case for all the percussion stuff that we need.
We've got about 9 minutes left, but we want to make sure there's still time for you to meet with your individual chaperone and turn in forms if you have them done. Do we have any final questions?
Question about, do we get our tickets each day? Yes, we collect the park hopper passes each evening, and we'll distribute them again each morning. We're going to have you take a picture of them with your cell phone, so that if it's lost, it can be replaced. So we'll talk about all that.
The individual park hopper passes are about $360 a piece, so they're very, very valuable. So as your student gets on the bus each day, they'll get that delivered to them, and at the end, when they come back on the bus, they'll turn that back into their chaperone each day. Question way at the top, sir.
Now the park hopper passes, you require a pass and a fingerprint, so are we going to be like, each pass needs to be separate?
Each pass is separate. You'll have, it's just like an ID card nearly.
Okay.
That's what you'll be using.
A suggestion to remember to pack sunscreen in your carry-on for the first day.
Less than 3 ounces.
So
we'll travel.
Ms. Strong, I just had a question about oil for instruments. If you're carrying oil for your instrument, it can't stay in your case when you're checking in the airport. You do have to take that out and put it in the plastic bag, just like any other liquid that you're carrying onto the plane.
So, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'm just by name, I'm going to reintroduce each of our chaperones. As I mention their name, they're going to get up and leave to a certain part of the lady chaperones up on the stage and the gentleman chaperones near the back. So if you want to just keep an eye on where your son or daughter chaperone travels to, that's where you'll be heading next with forms and or questions. We do want to thank you for coming this afternoon. It was the best way we could think of to get the information out to all of you. So at this time...
Hang on, before you take off, remember, if you are not flying there, or I think there's one, is it Mariah, is it you? You're not coming back? If you're not flying both directions with us, the directors need to see you, okay? Today, right here, yep.
Good. So Megan Farrell is going to take a spot up on the stage, if you would. Ms. Lynn Conway is headed up on the stage at this point. Michelle Formanek is heading up on the stage in the white sweater. Kate Turner is heading up on stage in the gray sweater. Debbie Ehrenberger is heading up on stage, also in a gray sweatshirt. Deanne Teedy is heading up on stage, she's got a black t-shirt on. Tracy Schilling is heading up on stage with a pretty blue sweater. Leslie Highland is already up on stage. And Stephanie Klein is off to the side. So that's where those folks are going to be. In the back area, the gentleman chaperones, starting with Kent Keating. Kent's got his really nice leather jacket draped over his shoulder, and he's heading back into cool land. Mr. Michael Davies. Mr. Michael Davies has his side pack on. He's headed back there. Scott Schultz, with the black overthrow on, is headed to the back. Kevin Behrens is, where's Kevin? There we go. With the orange top on, Billy Gadeo, has his long sleeve black on right there, headed to the back. Mr. Anderson, we all know, he's got the gray on top. And Mr. Dan DeVore with the red hoodie on. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much. Make sure you take your forms and questions to your chaperones.